Welcome back to the Adventitious Adventures podcast. As before, if this is your first time joining, the story I'm telling is based on the real D&D campaign my friends and I played. Also, if you're liking the story so far, feel free to like and follow the channel so that you can hear when there's updates and everything else. You can also find these episodes on YouTube and WordPress.com for the original written episodes. Last time, the party had finally made it to the town of North Star, the capital city of the North, finding it bustling with excitement and anticipation of the ball held by the king. Navigating through the crowd, the party was stopped by an elven woman singing, who seems to have some hold over Mitram. Malvis also had his own adventure, breaking off from the others to a pub where he had a chat with a strange man named Bale. Will the party make it to the ball and in front of the king, or will they be hindered by more distractions? Our story picks up once again with the party having finally managed to make their way to the capital city of North Star. Malvis, after having gotten away from the menacing form of Bale, leaves the tavern he was in feeling rather tipsy. The crowd splits as he is walking, and he is able to see a man selling masks. As he comes closer, he realizes that the masks he is handing out are spiral masks, and it seems that quite a lot of people are taking them and putting them on. Knowing that this is not a good development, Malvis casts thaumaturgy, trying to convince the people that the masks will kill them. Some of the people do seem to follow his request to remove them, but not enough. Finding the seller through the crowd, Malvis attempts to follow him, but ends up getting caught in the act. Back with the rest of the party, Mitram is still standing in awe. When he is questioned, he explains that the woman singing is his sister. After the song is done, she is led away by the guards that were around her. The party decides to follow her in hopes of finding a way to get into the palace. However, the way that Mitram had originally planned to go appears to be blocked. Turning back around, they instead decide to follow the crowd that seems to be migrating towards the palace walls anyway. As the party gets close to the palace, they find a line of guards checking people and consulting lists to make sure that only those who are invited are let in. The line seems long, and knowing that they have important information to deliver, they attempt to go to one of the guards and bribe him to let them in. However, he does not seem to budge, and instead sends them to the back of the line. Accepting they will not be let in easily, the party heads to the back of the line to wait for their turn. After a while, they finally reach the guard at the front of their line. Rick, Bill, and Inara have no trouble being let into the celebration. However, it seems like Mitram has not been added to the list. Bill claims he is there as his +1, and they are all told to move on. Just as they move to follow the direction, they see Malvis approaching. The guard very much does not want to let him in, but Inara, who had been claimed as a VIP because of her friendship with the princess, vouches for him, and they let him move on with the rest of the party. As they walk inside the palace walls, they can hear sounds that signify protests of some sort have started outside. Moving further inside the palace walls, the party is once more stopped, this time by some women who are handing out masks. The party picks out a mask of their choice before also being scrutinized for how they are dressed. The women tell them that because they're in favor with the princess, they will also give them clothes to change into. They take them away and change their clothes, all except for Bill, who, strangely, was already dressed well enough for the occasion. Eventually, the party is finally able to enter the actual party. They quickly scan the room and decide they should try to find the princess. As they are walking about, they notice that a good-sized number of the guests are wearing the spiral masks. After a few moments, a well-dressed performer appears and begins to entertain the crowd. She dedicates her song to the princess, and music swells to fill the room. Still not seeing the princess, the party decides to head to the kitchens. Entering the kitchen, they encounter a man named Barlow, who introduced himself as an advisor, and along with him another important figure that he had been talking to. When they ask about the princess, he tells them that she is not here, and that she has not been seen at all. The party obviously senses this is not quite right, and renew their search for her, this time choosing to go up the stairs to the palace halls above. Here they encounter guards, but are easily able to get through. Finally entering one of the large rooms down the hall, they find her. The princess is there, but she's being held back by someone, a man who claims his name is Jeremiah, and that he is the magic consultant for the kingdom. He looks as if he is trying to keep her captive, but he is adamant that he is trying to help her. The party convinces him to let her go, but they quickly realize the reason he had been holding her. In her hands is one of the spiral masks. Quickly, Inara knocks the thing out of her hands, thinking it will solve the problem. But just as it rolls across the floor, a voice can be heard from the hallway. A man comes into view, wearing one of the masks, and tells them that they will wish that the masks were the true threat before attacking. The party puts up a good fight, and eventually defeats the man. However, just as they feel secure and are attempting to get the princess to follow them, another person takes the place of the first man and sends the party right back into battle. Will the party be able to get the princess to safety? We shall see next time.